What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the next episode of Arena Goat Talk, bringing on the legends and goats of this game, giving them a chance to tell their story and give you guys some tips along the way. On this episode, I got one of the best, if not the best, Jack to ever play this game. You got Mr. DeJuan Alfonso. How you doing today?
Man, good, man. I can't call it, man. Thanks for the love. Appreciate it.
Uh, appreciate you coming on. Just wanted to, bring you on so you can kind of tell your story and give these young bucks some advice along the way. Like, there's with these guys that I coached and I see nowadays, there's things that they can add to their game if they were to check out some film from us or even guys before us. And kind of one of the main purposes of this is to, one, tell your story, two, let the young cats kind of learn from you guys.
Yep, got you.
But first things first, let's get to know you. So, kind of tell everybody about you, how where you from, and how you got introduced to the sport of football up until like high school. We'll start about there.
All right, so I'm from Indianapolis, Indiana originally. Go Pacers. I lost in the finals. Yeah, so man, I've been loving football since I was 4 or 5 years old. I grew up watching San Francisco 49ers. And so back in the early 80s, they were one of the best teams. So they were always on TV. That's who my mom rooted for. So I fell in love with football then. And I started playing tackle football at 5 years old. I know here in Illinois, they can't start playing that until I don't think they're like 10 years old. But yeah, I've been tackling people since I was about 5 years old. Um, and then from there, just played over the years. The Indianapolis Colts came in like 1985, I think it was, 84, 85. And then that's when I really fell in love with football. I mean, um, I bleed Colts blue. Like, so I'm a diehard Colts fan. I was a season ticket holder. But that's when I really that's when that passion took over. And then I never really thought I would get to go to college and play football. I was a small guy, and but I got the opportunity, and I mean the rest is history.
Yeah. Okay. So, was there any kind of motivation that kind of helped you along the way, like a hero or something like that? Something that kind of drew
I
your interest and motivation?
I ain't gonna say a hero, maybe more like a villain, but so it was a guy when I was in high school, and I was I was starting quarterback as a sophomore, QB, not CB, QB. So he was a senior, and I'm not gonna say his name, but and I said the same thing at my Hall of Fame speech for college. But he asked me, what I wanted to get out of football, and I was like, man, I just want the opportunity to play in college. And he told me, you will never make it to college. You will never play in college. And from that day on, I never forgot it ever. And the crazy thing is, um, once I was in college and had the opportunity to play professionally, he messaged me on Facebook one day and was like, "Man, I'm so proud that you made it," and blah blah blah. So he had to kind of eat those words, which was bittersweet for me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he was kind of my like my I want to prove this dude is wrong. So
Mm-hmm. So, when you were coming up, what position were you playing?
so little league I played running back, and then my freshman year I played safety and backup quarterback. So going into my sophomore year, I was a starting quarterback varsity. So I started for 3 years at quarterback varsity, but I also played corner, and I also punt and kicked field goals and kickoffs. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so I played quite a bit, which when you look at hindsight, that set me up for playing arena. Yeah, so it
You
was it
played
was great.
everything in arena.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. So
So, by the time you got through high school, kind of talk about um, your journey trying to get into college and where you ended up at.
So yeah, I mean, I didn't get a lot of recruiting because I was a small kid. I was like 5'10", 160 pounds, dripping wet. That's what I graduated high school with. So I didn't get a lot of opportunities at major schools, but Indiana State came and they saw me. They saw me play. Then they came to a couple of my basketball games and they seen how athletic I was. So they gave me the opportunity to play. They brought me in as just an athlete. They didn't know where they were going to put me at, and then I just end up moving a corner, um, and they gave me the opportunity to play. So
So
I'm grateful.
yeah. So when you got there, was it your freshman year? You kind of started out, starting or whatever the case may be. What was kind of like your, your developmental process in college?
Well, so before I went to college, they had told me if I gained weight, I would have the opportunity to play as a freshman. And, I don't, I'm not understanding like about red shirt and stuff like that. Like I'm like I don't want a red shirt. I want to play.
Mhm.
So I killed myself that summer to gain weight. I was eating potatoes every day. I was taking in like over 200 grams of protein every day, like because I was trying to put on that weight. And I end up gaining about 25 pounds that summer, and I
Mhm.
also grew 2 inches. So I'm like, I'm ready. They told me I did it, and then it was like, nah, we're gonna redshirt you. So, which for me end up being great, because I wouldn't have played much my freshman year, and I would have just wasted a year of college eligibility. So, but after that, I took off.
Mm-hmm. So, um, you're going through college, right? You're getting to your senior year. You're starting to look at the prospects of playing some kind of pro ball, or you're wanting to play some pro ball. Kind of touch on that process, that thought process, and what you went through in that journey.
So, my first few years, I didn't think that I would have the opportunity to play after college. Just it is what it is. Um, but then something clicked in me going from my redshirt sophomore year to my junior year. I don't know what it was. I think I reached at that point 205 pounds. So I was like, I'm unstoppable now. I'm laying the hat. You know, uh, Coaches aren't throwing at me anymore. I don't know why, but they stopped throwing at me. So I was getting all this praise. I was preseason All American, preseason All Conference, like all of this stuff. So it kind of made me think, maybe this is a possibility that I can do it. And then now the scouts are starting to show up to practices and all of this stuff. And so it's like, oh, this is a real opportunity for me. Maybe I'll get a chance to play. So, and then plus my senior year, no one was throwing to me. So after the third game of the season, they moved me to safety just so I can get some action. And that's actually what I got recruited as a safety for the NFL.
Mm-hmm. So how did that was it Baltimore?
Yep, in Baltimore.
How did that come along?
It was good at first, the politics of the game, but and back then you're talking about 2000, so they really didn't give guys like me a fair shot because of the school I was from, because coming out of college, I had all the stats, I had the size, I had the speed, I had everything, but the one thing that they always said was I didn't play against the upper echelon of competition.
Mm-hmm.
So that was always going to be a knock for me because I went to a one AA school. So I got to camp and everything was going good, and just one day it's just like, I know why they did it, but I'm not going to say it on here. But
Mm-hmm.
they just let me go,
Mm-hmm.
and so I was like, I had to make a decision on what I'm going to do after that, and the Indiana Firebirds that same year came to well, the Albany Firebirds moved to Indianapolis. And
Mm.
so I went back home and I was like, maybe this is an opportunity for me to do something different, get some experience. Maybe I can, get back to the NFL. So,
Hmm. So when the Firebirds came to town, did you go to a tryout? Did they reach out to you? Kind of touch on that.
so no, I mean, I didn't know much about arena. But um, my agent reached out to the Firebirds and just sent them some film. And I mean, once they seen the film, they offered me a contract right there.
Hmm.
And also I think it helped being from Indianapolis. They're just there. So I kind of got the whole like media, like exposure and stuff, being a hometown kid, playing for the hometown team. So I mean, it worked out for them, but it worked out great for me as well. So, but yeah, it was kind of a easy transition.
What did you think about the arena game when you first even got introduced to it? What did you kind of think about the game itself?
Um, so I like the concept, but I didn't know it because I hadn't played it. But once I got out there, I was like, this is perfect for me. Like, I mean, in college, I played my natural position and was corner, but I also played some receiver at times. I punt return, I kick return, I played safety. So I played all over the place. So it was this is my type of game. And it's I always call it it's basketball on turf. I
Mm-hmm.
love basketball. It has that basketball feel. The fans are right on top of you. Man, I fell in love with the game, man. I really did. I really fell in love with it. And it was quick. I fell in love quick.
Definitely. So, um, you played pretty much everything, and see, return kicks, you um, DB, whatever receiver, you played everything. So,
Yeah.
where did you kind of feel like you fit in? Or you were just like, man, wherever y'all need me, let me go. Like,
So it was wherever you needed me. But so what happened for me is I was for Indiana Fiber, I was playing defensive specialist. And when I left there and went to Chicago, I was a two-way. So I was a receiver and DB. Um, but I I was told from a coach a long time ago from when I was younger, was telling me like if you're playing scout team, play something that you don't normally play. So if like in college, I play quarterback for the scout team. When I was on scout team, I would play quarterback or wide receiver. So there we was in Chicago and we was practicing one day and I was like, you know what, let me go play jack linebacker. I don't know much about it. I don't, because I've never played it, but I got in there and I started batting down all the balls the quarterback was throwing and what I'm saying, picking the ball off, running down people, stripping them. And Coach Hornsey was like, found your new position. Yeah. So just that quick, I was done playing DB. I was now a permanent jack.
mm,
And I love the jack position, man. I feel to me, I feel like if you play it the right way, it's it's the best position to me on defense. It
mhm.
really is. Yeah.
You got a taste of everything. You got a taste of kind of like the fronts, you
Yup.
know, plugging
Yup.
in, whatever, and
Yup.
you helping out the DBs. It was
Yup.
always hard to find a good jack. You can put an athletic guy there, and he doesn't know how to fit in with the coverages. He doesn't
Yeah.
know um, when to kind of help the fronts. The DN went slanted in, and the quarterback went
Yeah.
out. Know what to
Yeah.
do. So it'd be
Yeah.
like you got a very athletic guy there, but he don't know what he's doing.
Yeah, no. I mean, that's why I like the position because you got to be a thinker too. It's not just about being an athlete. You got to think. And to me, you always got to be a little bit ahead of everybody else. And like you said, I have to know what my back coverage is and I need to know what my front coverage is. You know what I'm saying? I need to know how they're slanting. I need to know who's going to cover the tight end when he releases or cover the fullback when he releases. Both of them release. Which one do I have? Which one does he have? is the secondary in safety look, cloud or corner look? Are they in cover three? Who's the threat at receiver? Who do I need to get closer to? So it's a lot of thinking, but I loved it, man. I loved it because you always felt involved in the game. I could never like take a play off or sleep or I could never do it because I had to be responsible for both ends, the front
Mm-hmm.
and the back. Yeah.
Yeah. So kind of take people through. You're breaking the huddle. You check it with the secondary. What's the
Yep.
call? Check it with the fronts. Kind of, you know, walk through it. Kind of verbalize it. You breaking the huddle. You getting the calls, and kind of what you're looking at as the offense is lining up. What are you looking for? Things like that.
So we would try to scheme the front to go with the secondary, right? So we would do something like, let's say we'll come out and we'll have a rip, right? So we're going to slant to the right, and the strong side is going to be to the left. Okay. Now we may two corner or a two safety. So that means that front side corner or that front side safety is going to play in the box, right? Play down, and they're going to cover the flats on that side. So now I have to cover that backside. But since we in a slant and that guy is going outside, I have to stay in the back of the box as far as I can in the back of the box to take away that short quick throw to the boundary or that crossing route that's coming across. That's my responsibility. Um, if we still have the same on and they come out in the trips, I move to the front side of the box. And then I'm going to shadow that crosser. I'm going to play underneath him all the way across to the boundary. And I'm going to try to hide too. I'm going to play low. I'm going to let that quarterback think that, he can't see me because I'm behind the line. That's how I got a lot of picks. It's just playing the game. So that's one thing. And let's say we slant away from the boundary. Now I'm going to squat and I'm going to play that boundary. I'm going to come down to the front of the box to the boundary, and I'm going to rob that backside stop route. And man, you can see my face just lighting up because I'm seeing myself picking that off. You know what I'm saying? So, man, like it's so much. And I always talk to my DBs. Always. I play with Dennis and Robinson, one of the best
Right.
DBs. Jeremy Nerdle. So I would talk to them, and he would like Dennis would come to me like, look, man, I'm going to jump this. So you cover me if he comes inside. So I'm like, yeah. So we work together. And that's one thing that, you guys, who's out there that's going to play in that jack position, work with your DBs, let him get some opportunities. You'll get some opportunities too. He'll tell me I'm going to jump this man, just get my back. And I'm like, I got you. And he'll jump it, pick it, take it to the house. I got his back. I'm following him to the end zone. So you got to be able to work with the guys and talk to them and understand each other, and understand, what's going on in that secondary as well as the front.
So I've seen Jacks do two different things. They'd either line up parallel to the line of scrimmage, and some they kind of tilt, which I've seen you do. Sometimes you kind of tilt in your stance where you're kind of like facing. So is there an advantage to that, or like, I guess, what's the thought process behind that?
You know what? I don't think I'm playing the game. You know what I'm saying? I want that quarterback when he's looking at me think that I'm doing something that I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just because I'm confined to this space don't mean I can't play the game too. I want you to think, okay, well, if he's looking at me and I'm tilted this way, maybe he's thinking, oh, he's running to the field. He's going to cover something to the field. So this is what coverage they're in. Nah, I faked you. I'm going to this boundary. That boundary guy ain't open now. Let me get that pick. I've gotten Raymond Field, y'all, so many times. So yeah, I man, I play the game. It's the same thing as like playing corner when you trying to let that look like you're playing zone, but you're really in man. It's the
Yeah.
same. It's the same concept. You gotta play. You gotta play with that quarterback is reading you a lot too. Just because you think he's not looking at you, he's looking at you too, seeing what you're going to do, where how you move. They study the jack too. They have to. If you don't account for us and you playing the game the right way, you're gonna get a lot of picks.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
Yeah.
definitely. They kind of like looking you off, and they kind
Yeah.
of throw where you ain't.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Make you
Exactly.
press wrong where all they're doing is reading you. So if you go to the
Yeah.
field, kind of throw to the boundary real quick, or
Yeah.
vice versa.
Oh,
Yep.
you know, sometimes I used to do this. I would my first two steps would be the opposite way that I'm going. So like let's say I know I'm going to the boundary and I'm already sitting in the boundary. I'll take a hard two steps to the field and then hit it back to the boundary because I want that quarterback to think, oh, this backside is going to be open. He's going to the field. Nope.
Trying to
I'm
bang them.
coming right back. Yeah, you have to play the game. You got to. You got to play the game.
Yeah. So you also had a knack for coming up and grabbing the fumbles and things like that. So is that something that you had to learn to kind of keep your eyes on the swivel, your eyes peeled, or was it just a natural thing that you just a ball hawk kind of deal?
Now, you know what? I think it was more of um so when I was in college and the scouts would come and they're watching film, right? So I would go in the office with them watching film and I'm watching them and they're not even they're not looking at the plays that I'm making. And I'm like, and I'm talking to them and they're like, um, you know what? We don't look at the plays that guys make. We look at what they do when the play isn't to them. That's what we look at. Are they hustling? Are they taking that 3 or 4 steps to the play? You know what I'm saying? Or are they just playing, I got him, I got him. Like, I got my man. I'm not worried about anything else. So
Mm-hmm.
when I heard that, I took heed to it. I was like, you know, every single time, I don't care if it's this clear across the field, I'm at least going to give 3 or 4 hard steps to get there. Now, in the bigger field, most of the time you're not going to get there, but if I take those 3 or 4 hard steps and I'm running that way, if anything pops, I'm already at full speed. So I don't have to get to full speed. I'm already at full speed. So
Mm-hmm.
arena with the field being so small, my 4 or 5 steps, I'm halfway across the field. So you know, so I'm running and I'm trying to hit people from behind and punch the ball out because being a jack, we're always usually hitting people from behind, right? So if I'm hitting you from behind, I'm trying to take that ball out or I'm trying to take your head off. One of the two. Something's coming out, either the ball or your helmet. So, and I'm trying to get you. So I'm trying to be around every play, you know, and I'm trying to make every play. But funny story. Can I cuss on here? Just one cuss word.
Go ahead.
So so we was playing a game and I was playing wide receiver and it was a run play. And I'm standing blocking. We're on the goal line. I'm blocking my man. I got him hemmed up. And the running back fumbles. The ball rolls, does a turn in the end zone, and rolls right underneath the DB's legs, right to me. And I just pick it up for a touchdown. We're sitting in meetings, and Coach Owens, he says, man, I don't care what this kid do. he he said it could be a pile of shit and he still comes out smelling like roses. I'll never forget that. Like, I mean, sometimes that ball just finds me. I don't know how, but but I think it's because I put in the work too. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know how it is. I know
Yeah.
your work ethic. I know how you work. Sometimes it's like, then this sack just fell in my hands. He turned and run right into you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You like, dang, I ain't even do much. That's because the work you put in, man, the constant work, you get rewarded, man.
Mm-hmm.
You do.
Definitely, definitely. Like when it came to ball hawks, like in my experience, it was you, K Mac. Those are probably like the two that was like, I don't know how the hell y'all end up with the ball. If that ball touched the ground, it'll bounce once, and everybody else is waiting on it. And just by the time you wait for the second bounce, y'all two gone.
Gone,
You in there,
gone.
buddy.
Yeah. I was just looking at that list the other day of like from touchdowns and stuff in the season, and me and him are all on that list.
I'm
Yeah,
telling you, ball hawk
yeah,
wise, it's y'all two, and then everybody else. So as far as snatching that ball up, no matter what, if it's they'll throw a pitch and somehow you pull the ball out the running back hand, something like that. You're like, y'all two are
yeah,
crazy. We can't do that.
yeah, man. Yeah, man. I mean, I'm telling you, I respected the game. I love the game. It was me. That game was made for me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I loved it. And this is being truthful. I liked it better than outdoor football. I really did. The only thing that was missing was the pay that they were making in the NFL.
Of
But
course.
if you paid me the same amount of money, NFL versus arena, I would play arena all day,
Mm-hmm.
all day. And it's the truth because the game was made for me.
Mm-hmm. That's how
Yeah,
I kind of feel on a pass rush standpoint. Yeah, everybody said it was quick, but for me, it was, I don't know what it was about the deliberate steps. You had to know exactly what you're doing right now. Ain't no
yeah,
playing around.
right now. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
That's how it
but
was. Everything was fast, quick, 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 quick. You had to think fast. There's really no thinking. You just got to know what you're doing because you don't have time to think. There's no time. The ball's gone if you're thinking. Yeah, yeah, man. No,
might as
yeah,
well pay. You might as well get a ticket if you're gonna stand there.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, you might as well go sit in the stands.
So, how long? Say when you started playing arena ball, how long until you kind of came into, man, I'm on it. Like, it ain't no second thoughts. Everything's muscle memory. You got a knack for everything, and you feel like you at the top of your game. How long from when you first started to that feeling?
I don't know, man. I ain't trying to toot my own horn, but man, my first year that I started, I had 6 picks. So it kind of came. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Just I don't know. I've always had a knack for the ball. Just always like the ball's always found me somehow, some way. But I think it's also studying, knowing what having the confidence to go out there and do what I'm supposed to do and not think, you know.
Mm,
And I know it's a cliche about playing football is like know what you're doing and you don't have to overthink stuff or think about it. You just do it naturally. But it's 100% true. If you know what you're supposed to do, you study enough, you study your play, study your opponent, man, it makes the game so much more easier. And somebody told me too, they was like, be as smart as you, when you still have all your athleticism, be intelligent in the game. Because most people don't become intelligent in the game until they lose their athleticism. But if you can
mm-hmm.
have both of them, I mean, you're going to be all pro, all arena, Hall of Famer. If you can master the game and know the game when you have all of your athletic ability, you're going to be so much more ahead of everybody else. And
Mm-hmm.
that's facts. But most guys don't. They wait, and when they start to decline athletically is when they start, okay, I need to watch more film, I need to do this, I need to do that. Well, now you're on the back nine now. Why not be great in the beginning? You know?
Mm,
So,
yeah.
but yeah, that's kind of how I looked at how I looked at things, man, all the time, man. Study, study, study. And I also have my memory, man, it's crazy. So I can see one thing, I can watch film and I'm in the game and I'm like, here it comes right here. I seen it. This is it right here,
Mm-hmm.
and it works for me.
Yeah. All right. So I got a couple clips I want to play, right?
Okay.
And kind of just, it's just showing you at work. And if you can kind of add something to it, just kind of speak on what you were thinking, that'd be great. Just giving, the audience, some guys that are trying to play jack or whatever, give them kind of a visual and some insight.
Okay. So so right here, I mean, shoot, we had one of the best nose tackles that ever played arena football. But so this play right here, I hesitated because I'm trying to read the tight end fullback. So you see me pause when it snap. I stop and I'm surveying. Okay, now they're blocking. They're good, but I have my peripheral going. I'm trying to see the everything. So now I see this ball on the ground, and it's like, dude, that's like $100,000 to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get it. And this is the playoff game. This is the game. This is the we lost to them the season before of the confetti game. So we lost in the championship, the conference championship game and I wanted to stick it to them so bad. I came into this game like I'm going to do everything I can to beat this team. Like whatever it is. You know, I couldn't stand them. But yeah, no, that's what I was looking at. I'm reading the tight end fullback combination first, and then I seen that ball hit that ground, and I'm gone. So playing a jack position, you always have to hesitate a little bit to read that fullback jack, right? I mean fullback Mac. You gotta see it. Because, I mean, there's been a lot of guys, Jack's been burnt on that because they're too focused on something else. And that tight end is running up the wall or that fullback is to the flat. And sometimes you got to play in between both of them. And you got to go make the play on both sides of the field. So you have to read that first. That's your first key there. And then from there, you move to whatever direction you're supposed to help coverage. But on that play, man, that ball hit the ground so fast. I'm like, I got to get it. I got to get it.
You ain't hear nothing. You was just
nothing. I think I might have had 2 fumble recoveries for touchdown that game.
You did. There's another clip on.
Yeah.
And so they go on this one.
Yeah, so this one here, so I'm kind of being a little lazy, actually. But this was the new rules where you can actually run side to side from board to board playing jack now. But it's still the same thing. It's me following the play. So I did take my couple hard steps, but I slowed down. But fortunately, I did slow down because if I would have just came running in crazy, I would have never got that tip. And that was actually a walk-off. That was a walk-off touchdown to win the game. Yeah. Yep.
And those are the best because all eyes are on you.
Yeah.
I ended this game.
Yep. And I made a bonehead play before that. We had I was playing quarterback, and we had a play, and I was in shotgun, and I snapped the ball a little too early, and it hit the motion man, and they recovered it, and they went down and scored. But that's how I won the game, though. So, you can't hang your head, man. You just got to keep playing.
This one, it kind of cut off a little bit, but
oh yeah, this was the same thing, just a pick, playing jack, and I'm watch the stiff form right here. Get off me, yeah. Hey, I see that end zone, man. I'm trying to get there. Like I got to get there.
That was gonna be the thing. Like when it come to you get the pick. What's going on in your mind, or is it just backyard ball taking off where you get the ball and I got to score, or
it's backyard ball, man. I ain't gonna sit here and lie to you. It's like whatever I got to do to get to that end zone, I don't care. I mean, if I got to stiff arm you, run you over, I'm not leaving it to somebody else to score that touchdown. I'm trying to get that touchdown. So I mean, I'm trying to get to that end zone no matter what.
Because it for you, it seems natural, like how you running. It's like you play like.
Well, I was a punt returner and kick returner. I was first team All-American punt returner and DB. So I have that, the punt returner and kickoff return skills. And even when I went to the NFL, they had me as a safety and punt and kick returner. So I mean, it comes into play. Hey kids, don't hold the ball like that. I got big hands, so tuck that thing away.
So
That
yeah.
interception sealed the game too. They were going down to score to take the lead. And this one is what I'll tell you. I just want to get to that end zone. I don't
Hmm.
care. 2-3 people on my back. I'm trying to score.
So, one thing I feel is important. It'd be great to hear from you, which you already kind of touched on, and it was something that me trying to coach up my guys, the Jacks, when teams run a T shoot F up, whatever you want to call it, tight ends trying to go down the middle of the field, fullbacks trying to stretch it out, bubble it out, or
Hmm.
whatever, trying to make
Hmm.
you make a decision. Kind of break it down how you would defend that.
So it depends on what coverage you in. If we have a two safety or two corner to the field, you got help from your corner or your safety because they're playing the flats. So if I see that split like that, then I'm gonna lean more towards that tight end up the wall. So I'm gonna lean towards that side. Man to man, it's nothing you can. It's kind of hard. You got to try to stay in the middle and get deep. That's
Hmm.
all you can do. Stay in the middle and get deep. Um, because if you get deep, you can cover that tight end. Um, but if you get deep, you got time to get over to that field to make that play. You're not going to stop both. It's not possible. So what you just want to try to put yourself in a position where you're not going to give up a touchdown. So
Hmm.
I'm gonna get to the middle. I'm gonna go deep. I'm gonna have my back towards the guy running up the wall because I can speed turn to that. You know what I'm saying? I can speed turn to that and get to that ball because that ball is gonna have to go. It's gonna have to be some touch on it, so I can get to that ball. That field ball, I want to be facing that so I can put that foot in the ground and go right now. And yeah, he may catch it, turn up, but I'm coming.
Hmm.
So you better get them hips square because I'm coming. Yeah. And I didn't lay some boys out on that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they catch that ball. And plus, to be honest, the fullbacks don't catch like the tight ends. They're a little more, like shaky with it. So I'm
Hmm.
I'm I'm coming. I'm coming.
Hmm.
I'm trying to separate you from that ball.
That
Best way
play
to
is
play it.
all the toughest to kind of coach and see the results. You
Yeah.
coach and they don't do it. They're thinking too
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
Kinda,
Yeah.
they're guessing wrong, and to me, I felt like you kind of play somewhat in between, but you're taking away the tight end, I guess, depending on your help, and then playing
Yeah.
up to the fullback. Because if
Yeah.
you
You
just
gotta play. You definitely. Yeah.
touchdown,
Yeah.
all the tight end got to do is catch it, and he's in the
Yeah.
end zone.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. You definitely got to lean more towards that tight end. But like I said, I mean, if you're an athletic jack and you got some range, you can still kind of play a little more inside of him. You don't got to squeeze him to the wall. Don't squeeze him to the wall because it's going to be a long run to that fullback. That ball, if it ain't coming out on a rope to him like right now, he's got to put touch on it. I can
Hmm.
speed turn and get to that. You know what I'm saying? I'll speed turn. I can get to that ball.
Hmm.
You're never going to make it to that fullback unless you cheat over there, but now you're giving up that tight end. You're not going to make it over there. So
Yeah.
I would say tell those guys, you got to give up something. Don't give up the touchdown. Rally to that play. The
Hmm.
DBs are going to see it too. They're going to see it. Those linemen are going to turn and run. This is a 2 yard out. Why are you
Hmm.
trying to stop a 2 yard out?
Hmm.
Stop this deep ball up the sideline, and then you come up and everybody rally to the party.
Hmm. Definitely, definitely. So, when you guys won the championship, right?
Hmm.
Kind of touch on how that moment felt to you, like
Man,
as the everything is going. How did that feel?
complete. One word, complete. Everything was complete. You know what I'm saying? We went to the conference championship 4 straight years, and finally that fourth year we got over that hump. It was bittersweet too because we barely made it into the playoffs. We were 7-9, and we had to go on the road every single game in the playoffs to win, you know, and we beat our nemesis, Colorado and San Jose, all the top dogs to get there. So it wasn't like we was some easy cake. Nashville, we had to go to Nashville. We had to go to Colorado. We had to go to San Jose. Then we had to play in the championship against Orlando, the team that spanked us that year. Listen, Cats got cut after that game. Like Coach Ho cut some guys. The way they beat us, it was bad. And then we go get to play them in the championship, man. And it was complete, man. Everything was complete. Everything was right. Everything was right in arena football.
So okay, cool. Because I like to, especially when Cats win, everybody got a different perspective, right? Of course, everybody's happy that they won, but what was the first words coming, going through your head? And that could be different from the next man. Next man, the whole story kind of flashed in front of him, and he thinks about how he always wanted to win it for mama, and then you know what I mean. That's always a good, a good take.
Man, I wanted to win. Honestly, I wanted to win for myself. Like it wasn't about my mom. It wasn't about nothing else. I know people say it, but I feel like deep down inside, man, that those moments, man, those are for you. That's complete. Like you reached that top goal. You know what I'm saying? It's like everybody is playing for that. Everybody is playing to be a champion. And it's true. You can't take it away. We still talk about it to this day. When I hit Cats up, man, like, man, dude, that year was crazy. I got video from it. I got the whole, like everything, man, the ring ceremony, all of that, man. That was for me, my team. You know what I'm saying? For everything that we've been through those 3 years prior to that. And, we stuck it out. We stuck together and we got it done. So it was for us,
Yep. Okay.
Bump cool. Everybody else.
It's your moment, and so
that was our moment, man. Yeah.
So I don't want to hold you up, but in closing, I always ask you to kind of give advice to cats maybe on the fence about playing pro ball. They don't know what they're gonna do. They don't, maybe they need some kind of words of advice to either entertain playing some arena ball or continue to play pro ball and have confidence in themselves. Like, what's your advice to those guys?
My advice would be, man, if you want to play, play. If you don't want to play, don't play. You gotta give everything to this game. If you're gonna play it, you gotta give everything. Because if you don't get everything, you're gonna end up hurt. And that's the truth. Never look ahead. I used to see guys come in from the NFL and, they were first round draft picks in the NFL, second round draft picks in the NFL, and they come in and they like, oh man, I'm just trying to get back to the league. I'm like, the dudes that are here, they ain't worried about you trying to get back to the league. They trying to feed their families. They trying to eat. They gonna put you on your butt. If your mind ain't focused on this game, you ain't making it back to the NFL. You need to be the best at this game to get an opportunity to maybe go back to the NFL. So I'm just gonna say, if you want to play and continue your career, no matter where it's at, wherever you go, give everything that you got, everything, and everything else will take care of itself. It will. You may not get to go back to the NFL, but I tell you, if you play arena, you play Canada, wherever you play, if you put everything into it, you're gonna get the enjoyment from it. I promise. The money ain't gonna matter. You can get all the money in the world, but if you ain't happy, does that money really matter? So just put all your effort into it. And if it's something that you don't want to do, then man, there's plenty of things out here that you can do. And I'm not trying to be discouraging to those guys who are on the fence, but if you're on the fence, it's the reason why you're on the fence. I feel like this isn't for you. You're probably doing it for somebody else. Somebody else is telling you, man, you should play. And you like, I don't know. If you don't know, then go do something else. But if you're going to be here and you're going to do it to the best of your ability, man. Take advantage of every situation.
Cool. Yep, definitely. So again, appreciate you coming on. And, I know you waiting on youngins to get done, but
Yeah.
appreciate you coming on and be in touch. And maybe I get one of these jacks on here, the young boys come on and kind of get you some one-on-one advice. On a
Yep.
specific.
I'll do it. Just let me know.
Sound good to
Let me
me. So,
know.
all right, appreciate you, and we'll be in touch.
All right, man. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me, man.
Yep.
One love.
Yep.